Hi, this is chapter 5, day 5. Going to do some perpendicular lines today. So, we learned yesterday that parallel lines have slope that are the same. So, perpendicular lines, remember, are lines that intersect and form 90-degree angles, right? They intersect and form 90-degree angles. So, the relationship of perpendicular lines, their slopes are opposite and inverse. They're opposite and they are inverse. So what you have to do is you have to change the sign and you have to flip the fraction. You have to flip the fraction. All right, so we still know that our point is x1, y1. We know that our slope here would be 3. Y equals mx plus b, so the slope is 3. So the difference today is that we want to be perpendicular, right? We want to be perpendicular. So the symbol for perpendicular is like an upside down capital T. So the perpendicular slope would be m. So if the current slope is 3, 3 as a fraction would be 3 over 1. So we have to take the opposite of that. So the opposite of a positive would be a negative. And then the inverse would mean you make the bottom the top and the top the bottom of the fraction. So 3 over 1 would become 1 over 3. Then it's the same game that we were playing before. Point slope form, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So we substitute in the point, the x1, y1, and we substitute in the slope, the m. So we would go y minus negative 5 makes it y plus 5. Slope is negative 1/3 times x minus the x coordinate is 3. So we would distribute. So we have y plus 5 equals negative 1/3 x. Negative 1/3 times negative 3 is positive 1. To get rid of a plus 5, we subtract 5. So we're in slope-intercept form at y equals negative 1/3 x. 1 minus 5 would be negative 4. So perpendicular slopes are opposite inverses. So here we have the same situation. We have a slope that is currently negative 3. So our perpendicular slope, since it is negative, the opposite would be positive. 3 as a fraction is 3 over 1, so it would be positive 1/3. So we would go y minus, our y coordinate is 3, equals our new perpendicular slope is 1/3 times x minus the x coordinate is 3. So then we would distribute. So we've got y minus 3 equals 1/3 x. 1/3 times negative 3 is negative 1. To get y alone, to get rid of a minus 3, we add 3. So we're in slope-intercept form at y equals 1/3 x. Negative 1 plus 3 would be positive 2. Right? So perpendicular slopes are opposite inverses. Opposite inverses. You might also hear it called as opposite reciprocal. All right, so looking at number 3, got a couple red dots left. Current slope is negative 3 over 5. So the perpendicular slope would be, since it's negative, the opposite would be positive. Since it's 3 over 5, the inverse would be 5 over 3. So y minus the y coordinate is 2 equals slope is 5/3 times x minus the x coordinate is 5. Distribute. Y minus 2 equals 5/3 x. 5/3 times negative 5 would be negative 25 over 3. To get rid of our minus 2, my bad, we would add 2. So there we are in slope-intercept form. Y equals 5/3 x. Let's see, that would be negative 25 over 3. So plus 2 would be 6 over 3. So negative 19 over 3, which you cannot reduce. All right, number 4, current slope is negative 2 over 3. So the perpendicular slope, the opposite would be positive. The reciprocal or the inverse of 2 over 3 would be 3 over 2. So y minus negative 1 is y plus 1 equals slope is 3 over 2 times x minus negative 4. goes x plus 4. So y plus 1 equals 3 halves x plus 3 times 4 is 12 over 2 is 6. So you have a plus 1, we subtract 1. So y equals 3 halves x, 6 minus 1 is 5. All right, number 5, we've got point -2, -5, perpendicular to, well, the slope is currently -2 over 7. So the perpendicular slope, the opposite of a negative, is a positive. The reciprocal or the inverse of 2 over 7 would be 7 over 2. So y minus -5 goes y plus 5 equals slope is 7 over 2 times x minus -2 goes x plus 2. Distribute y plus 5 equals 7 halves x plus 7 is 7 halves times 2. So get rid of the plus 5, we subtract 5. So we're sitting at y equals 7 halves x plus 2. It would be 7 minus 5. Our last one here is a special case one, right? So we have y no x. Remember when you have y no x, you are a horizontal line, right? You're a horizontal line. So think about this. If I want to be perpendicular to being a horizontal line, I have to be a vertical line, right? So I'm going to have to be a vertical line. Remember, vertical lines have x's, no y's. So this vertical line is going to have to be of the form x equals a number. So if we're going through the point 0, -1, where x is no y's, I can see that x is 0, so it would be x equals 0. So perpendicular, opposite inverses. You change the sign, you flip the fraction, and that